Open weight agents that run on your laptop. Yep, Meta just dropped one, and it's a huge deal for builders. OpenAI's newest model is finding zero-day exploits, but access is locked down tight. And if you are building for Europe, the EU AI Act just started biting, so we'll talk about what you need to know now. No BS AI briefing brought to you by Proactive AI. Welcome back. I'm your host Vikash Sharma, and this is where builders get straightforward AI news without the fluff. All right, let's dive into the high signal items that actually matter for us builders this week. We've got some big shifts happening across the board. First up, OpenAI made waves with the release of GPT 5.6 Cyber. This isn't your everyday chatbot, folks. It's a specialized model designed explicitly to help security teams hunt for zero day exploits and vulnerabilities. Now, the internal benchmarks are impressive, reporting a 95% accuracy on complex security queries, things like finding issues in Chrome V8 or even mobile operating systems. But here's the kicker: access is super restricted. You're talking about a daybreak red tier, which demands identity verification, hardware security keys, and strict legal compliance. For builders, this is a clear signal about the future of powerful, specialized AI models. It shows us how major players might manage the risks of truly capable AI, delivering high impact tools but with extremely controlled release patterns to balance capability with potential misuse. It's also a hint at how AI is going to augment DevSecOps, making security more proactive and, frankly, more powerful than ever before. Next, something truly exciting for the open source community and product builders. Meta launched Muse Glimmer. This is a 30 billion parameter open weight agentic AI model. What does agentic mean here? It's optimized for things like planning, using tools, and generating code. Basically, it's built to do stuff, not just chat. And the best part, it runs locally. We're talking consumer GPUs, even high end Macs. It boasts a huge 131K context window, and there's a 4-bit quantized option for even lighter deployment. Meta's even teasing that Muse Spark 1.2 weights are coming soon, which could be even more powerful. Why this matters for us? It fundamentally changes the cost and latency equation for building agentic workflows. Imagine not having to hit an API for every step of an agent's reasoning process. It also enables truly privacy preserving offline AI applications, which is a massive opportunity for certain industries. This move clearly reinforces Meta's commitment to an open strategy, putting powerful AI directly into the hands of developers without the API gatekeeper. Also, this week we saw some significant consolidation in the physical AI space with Archer acquiring Boeing's Autonomy stack. Archer, if you're not familiar, is a leader in eVTOL aircraft. They just bought out Whisk Aero in situ and Skygrid from Boeing. Now, Boeing isn't completely out. They're investing in Archer and retaining access to Whisk's underlying tech. What this effectively does is create a vertically integrated platform across autonomous flight, from the hardware of the aircraft itself all the way down to the intricate software and control systems. For builders, this signals a deepening trend in physical AI. You can't just build one piece of the puzzle anymore. Companies are going full stack, from sensors to AI brains to actuators. This raises the bar for integration requirements and definitely intensifies competition from those who can offer end-to-end solutions. If you are in robotics or autonomous systems, this kind of vertical integration is becoming a critical strategic play. And switching gears to policy, the EU AI Act enforcement officially began, complete with new reporting channels. This isn't a theoretical discussion anymore, it's live. The EU has launched not one but three distinct ways for people to report non-compliance, including anonymous whistleblower tools. This means providers of high-risk AI and general-purpose AI models are now legally obligated to meet stringent transparency, documentation, and risk management duties. For any of us building products that touch European users, this is a big deal. Your AI products will need strict labeling, thorough audits, and comprehensive documentation to prove compliance. The existence of whistleblower routes also dramatically increases the exposure for non compliance, making it far riskier to cut corners. This isn't just a legal hoop, it's a fundamental shift in how AI products will need to be developed and deployed in one of the world's largest markets. Finally, a massive funding round that caught my eye. Prometheus AI raised an eye-watering $12 billion in Series B funding at a $41 billion valuation. This is among the largest private AI rounds we've seen to date, and the capital is specifically earmarked for developing AI tools focused on product design, testing, and manufacturing. This isn't about foundation models directly, it's about applying AI to industrial processes. What does this tell us? It's a huge validation for industrial AI. Investors are seeing serious, tangible returns in applying AI to optimize complex physical processes, from iterating on product designs to streamlining factory floors. For builders, this heightens the talent competition in specialized AI fields and foreshadows a future where AI features in design and manufacturing software will become table stakes, leading to consolidation and intense feature parity pressure. If you're building tools for engineers or manufacturers, the landscape just got a lot more competitive and high stakes. Now, out of all those important stories, the one I really want to double click on today is Meta's launch of Muse Glimmer. Honestly, this is probably the most significant development of the week for a certain class of builders. What happened is that Meta, known for its open source big language models, just released Muse Glimmer. It's a 30 billion parameter model that's not just open weight, meaning you can download and run it yourself, but it's also specifically optimized for agentic workflows. Think planning, complex tool use, and code generation. It's designed to run efficiently on local hardware, from consumer grade GPUs to high end Macs, and comes with a massive context window of 131K tokens. They've even provided a 4-bit quantized version, making it even lighter to deploy. Why this matters right now is because it represents a major shift in how we think about building with AI agents. For so long, the best agentic capabilities have been locked behind proprietary APIs from OpenAI, Anthropic, or Google. This meant dealing with per token costs, potential latency issues, and the need to send your data over the wire. Muse Glimmer fundamentally changes that equation. It's not just another open source LLM, it's an agent optimized open source LLM that runs on your local machine. This could ignite a whole new wave of innovation in agent development where cost, latency, and data privacy are no longer primary bottlenecks. It's a move that pushes AI capabilities from the cloud edge right down to the device edge. So, who should really care about this? Well, indie hackers absolutely need to pay attention. If you're building a side project or a niche SaaS, Muse Glimmer means you can experiment with powerful multi step agents without racking up huge API bills. It lowers the barrier to entry significantly. Product managers should be thinking about new features that were previously too expensive or too sensitive for API based agents. Imagine privacy focused tools that process highly sensitive user data entirely on device. Engineering leaders and infrastructure engineers should be evaluating how this shifts their architecture. Can you offload certain AI tasks to client side processing? How does this impact your cloud spend, your data pipeline, and your security model? And for founders, this opens up new business models where local AI, data privacy, and customization are core differentiators. How I think about it as a builder, looking at this Glimmer release is like the early days of mobile app development, but for AI. So before you needed big server farms for complex processing. Now, the power is coming to the device. Think about it. An agent that can automate complex tasks for a user, say managing their emails, scheduling, and coding tasks, all within the secure confines of their personal computer. The opportunities here are immense, especially for applications that require speed and absolute data control. The risk, of course, is that a 30B parameter model isn't quite frontier class in terms of raw capability compared to the absolute best proprietary models. It also demands a reasonably powerful local setup. But honestly, for many practical agentic applications, 30B is more than enough to deliver real value. What I wouldn't ignore is the precedent it sets for Meta's continued open source strategy and the impending Spark 1.2 weights, which could be even more capable. My no BS take on this is simple. This isn't hype, it's a genuine inflection point. While the claims rely on internal benchmarks and it isn't an AGI breakthrough, Muse Glimmer represents a serious step forward for accessible, deployable, and customizable AI agents. It's giving builders the keys to a powerful engine without the usual API toll booths, and that's a big deal. If you want one practical takeaway from today's episode, here it is. Experiment with Muse Glimmer locally to prototype a multi step agent for a specific workflow in your team or product. Here's how to try it in under 60 minutes. 1. Get it running. Head over to Meta's AI documentation or Hugging Face. Download the Muse Glimmer weights and follow the instructions to get the 4-bit quantized version running on your local machine. If you have a decent GPU or a newer Mac, you should be able to get the basic inference engine active fairly quickly. You're not aiming for a production ready system here, just functionality. 2. Define a simple workflow. Pick one very specific multi step task that currently involves a human or a slow API dependent process. Maybe it's triaging support tickets based on sentiment and keywords, drafting an initial code review comment for a pull request, or extracting structured data from an unstructured text document. Keep it narrow. 3. Build a basic agent loop. Using a framework like LangChain, Light LLM, or even a custom Python script, connect Muse Glimmer with some basic tools. For example, if it's code review, give it access to a local file system reader or a simple linter. If it's data extraction, maybe a regex tool. Have it perform a few steps, e.g., read document, extract data points, format them, then verify. 4. Compare and contrast. Run your chosen workflow with Muse Glimmer and then with your current API based solution, if you have one, or manually. Pay attention to latency, how many turns or API calls it takes, and the quality of the output. Don't worry about perfect accuracy right now. Focus on the process and cost implications. Why is this specific experiment worth your time right now? Because it's one thing to hear about local agents and another to actually feel the speed, experience the zero API cost, and appreciate the privacy implications firsthand. This isn't about replacing all your cloud models immediately, but understanding the potential for hybrid architectures or entirely new device centric product categories that were previously too expensive or too risky from a data perspective. Getting hands on with Muse Glimmer is the fastest way to truly grasp the strategic implications of this shift. That's it for today's No BS AI briefing. If this helped, follow the show in your podcast app and share it with one builder you know. And if you got questions or topics you want covered, connect with me on LinkedIn and send them over. See you in the next briefing.